Good morning and welcome to the Elevate Renata's team call. Today is Money Monday. It is February 8th and I'm excited to be here with you. All right, so our quote of the day today is to sustain longevity, you have to evolve. We've got our dates for national conference. So that's going to be March 18th through the 20th. So we've got 3 full days of online training. Tickets are available. Our theme is shifting higher into focused transformation. If you haven't got your tickets yet, you can just search for nationals in the Helios calendar. You're going to want to make sure that your calendar is showing March. And then when you see the event there, just click on the event and that's where you can get your tickets purchased if you haven't done so already. Mark your calendar and get those tickets and we'll see you at Nationals. Our Leaders Retreat is August 13th through the 17th, so do mark your calendar for that. I'm so excited. We're going to be going to Cabo San Lucas, Mexico, so we will see you all there. Our Founders Live is every Monday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time. It's on Facebook on the Founders Live Facebook page. This is our opportunity on a weekly basis to meet with our CEO, Bob Snyder, hear any announcements that he has for us, as well as some recognition, see who's out there making things happen in their business. And also we get a training and a story of the week. So the Founders Live is definitely an important piece of the business. So make sure you're tuning in every Monday at 4 p.m. Also on Monday nights, we have our national study groups every Monday night at 7 p.m. We've also got the Renata's Helios app, something fairly new that we've added to our support system to help with our marketing, as well as just a simple and easy way to stay plugged in with the company. So download the app if you haven't already, give it 5 stars. And they are uploading the Money Mastery video every day, a new one to our app. So that's a nice feature there, and you're able to share that with your guests and also gain protection when you get your guest the access code. So some cool features with the app. If you've got any questions on that, feel free to contact your 5-star. And then we have the Private Capital Masterclass every Thursday at 6 p.m. Mountain Time. We've also got the Daily Real Estate Action Mastermind that happens right after this call from 9 to 9:45. And then we also have our team call that we're on right now, our daily marketing call from 8 to 9, Monday through Friday. And then last but not least, we've got the Zoom up call, which has been really, really cool. These are daily calls Monday through Friday at noon, only about 15 to 20 minutes long. And what it is we interview a different student each day of the week. So we've got a whole list of amazing interviews that we've already completed. I think we're up to 70 now. So tune into the Zoom up call every day at noon. You can do that by just typing in your URL bit.ly/zoomup with a capital Z, and we'll see you there at noon. Oh yes, OES talks about the optional event subscription. This is where you can sign up for the optional event subscription, as well as view a short video, just a 6-minute long video that talks about what the optional event subscription is and why you want to be a part of that. If you are looking to introduce your students to the profits education that Renatus offers, a great opportunity to do so is Tuesdays at 7 p.m. The one and only Bob Tierney is doing an intro for the profits education each and every week. So this is a great opportunity to get your guests involved with the profits education. Every week we have a virtual house tour. This is at 7 p.m. on Wednesdays. And then I like to just share the numbers with you quickly. So last week's tour was a really cool fix and flip by Wanda and Alfonso. The purchase price on this property is $305. Holding costs and rehab costs are $53,000. The deal was completely funded by hard money, which is really cool. So none of their own money to get into this property, and that cost them about $14,000. They listed it for $430, but got an offer for $471. Not typical, but that is so exciting, and it's just amazing to see what's possible out there. So in 90 days, both Wanda and Alfonso are walking away with a $81,000 net profit. Congratulations to Wanda and Alfonso. So every Wednesday at 7 p.m. we have our house tour that's offered in English. And then we also have our AIT bonus track study group that's offered in Spanish on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. On Thursdays, you can catch the same property tour, but it's offered in Spanish on Thursdays. And then everything else on the list here will be in English. So we've got our Pillars of Wealth intro presentation, the follow-up and funding webinar. We've got an onboarding session, an essentials study group, and wholesaling, multifamily, and short-term rental study groups. We do record these morning calls. You can catch them on our Facebook page as well as on our YouTube channel. So our Facebook page is Renata's Team Elevate. There's a lot of important announcements there. You get to network with the team. Definitely become a part of that page if you're not. And then our YouTube channel is Elevate Renatus, where you can catch the Zoom up calls that I just mentioned, those 15-minute stories, as well as these morning calls. So again, take advantage of the private Facebook page as well as our YouTube channel. Now let's go ahead and watch our money matrix for the day. We'll spend a few minutes going through the exercise together.
This man put a spin on the family business and upended an industry. Would you have done the same thing? Fred Franzia is the CEO and co-founder of one of the biggest winemakers in the United States. He is the man behind Charles Shaw, known affectionately as $2 Chuck, the cheap wine sold exclusively at Trader Joe's. Yet winemakers from Napa to Sonoma consider Franzia's Bronco wines a scourge on the wine industry. Napa winemakers approach winemaking as a delicate art. Franzia approaches it like a businessman, and it shows. Franzia was born in 1943 to one of the most prominent wine families in California. His grandfather Giuseppe Franzia emigrated to the United States from Genoa, Italy in 1893 and began commercial wine production in the San Joaquin Valley in 1915. He grew up around the founding fathers of California wine, including his uncles Ernest Gallo and Julio Gallo, as well as Robert and Peter Mondavi and Auguste Sebastiani. These men are his role models and his original network of mentors. Franzia spent summers and holidays pruning vineyards and stacking cases of wine alongside his brother Joseph and cousin John. Franzia went to work for the family wine business after college. After all, it was only a matter of time before his generation got their chance to run the company. That would not happen, however, as in 1973, Franzia's father and uncles sold the family winery to Coca-Cola. Fred networked with his brother Joseph and cousin John to form Bronco Wine Company. They're not your typical John Teal Napa Valley vineyard complete with a tasting facility. The vineyard is closed to the public. Franzia is running a business, not a destination. The company's headquarters are a small termite-ridden building behind a fence topped with barbed wire. The shelves of his office are lined with bottles of his wines, most of which cost less per bottle than a six-pack of beer. Franzia entered winemaking with a business plan, making him a trader in the eyes of more traditional winemakers. He is in the wine game to make money, but he's also bringing wine to a larger audience. There are plenty of consumers who can't or don't want to spend $10, $15, or $20 or more per bottle of wine. Through his brands, the largest of which is Charles Shaw, Franzia is bringing appreciation of wine to the masses. He's making it affordable for every dinner table to have a bottle of wine on it. And that angers older, more traditional wineries. What has made him so successful? He taps into his network to find profitable deals. He buys land, labels, wines, and grapes when the prices are low and then turns them into a success. The best example of Franzia's business acumen when it comes to a bargain acquisition is the $2 Chuck story. In 1995, Franzia bought the Charles Shaw label from a Napa Valley winery in bankruptcy. Franzia didn't do anything with the label until 2002. That year, the wine market was flooded with excess inventory. Grape prices took a severe nosedive and wineries had to sell off their product in bulk and at a loss. Bronco became one of the very few success stories of the year when it made a deal with Trader Joe's to sell an extreme value wine for $1.99. Wine critics proclaimed Charles Shaw surprisingly drinkable. Wine and Vines magazine's editors picked a $2 Chuck Chardonnay over a $67 Chardonnay. $2 Chuck became the fastest growing wine label ever. Fred Franzia grew up amongst the network of Napa Valley's winemakers and started his own vineyard as an adult. He is by far the most controversial person in the U.S. wine industry. He's also one of the most savvy. By moving in exactly the opposite direction of the industry's elite winemakers, he has built Bronco into the fourth largest wine company in the United States. In fact, $2 Chuck is the fastest growing wine in the history of the industry, selling more than 5 million cases, or about 60 million bottles, for $100 million in sales annually. Call to action: networking. Take 12 minutes right now to consider ways to grow your own network. You never know what will spark a new solution to a problem.
All right, bear with me for just a moment here while I get some music going, but we're going to set a timer for 10 minutes and just spend some time, pondering and writing down our answer to the question here. For those of you just hopping on, we've got about 5 minutes left on the timer where we're spending a few minutes to answer the question on the screen. got about 1 minute left to wrap up your thoughts on the topic. While you do that, I'm going to get our Facebook Live going. So about 1 more minute, and then we'll start our training for the day. All right, the timer is up. I hope you guys got some good stuff written down. I sure did. And we will most likely have 1 or 2 of you come out and share. So before we do that, let's bring out our trainer for the day. So today is Money Monday. It's February 8th, and I'm so excited to be here with you today and to bring out our trainer for the day. We get to learn from Michael Huggins every Monday, and I'm so grateful for that Michael takes the time out of his day to give back to the community and to help us and to help move us along with our businesses. Michael Huggins has had a lot of experience and a lot of success with this business. He's been involved with Renatus for about 10 years and has a lot of experience to share with us. Before Renatus, Michael had done what he was told as far as, going to school, getting good grades, going to get a good job. And, that's what a lot of us were taught. However, Michael still found himself very frustrated and not able to pay bills. He was living paycheck to paycheck, and he knew he needed to make a change. He was living in his girlfriend's mother's basement at the time, didn't have a car of his own, was riding his bicycles to work, and even had a degree. So this was frustrating, and he ended up looking into real estate investing and had found an ad in the newspaper, and it was a Renatus ad. And I'm so grateful that Michael found that ad, because I, along with many others on this call, wouldn't be here if it weren't for Michael Huggins and his hard work. So Michael, if we fast forward to today, Michael has completed many real estate transactions, all from what he's learned from this amazing education. And he has also earned a spot on the PAC, the President's Advisory Council, where he is with the CEO on a regular basis, talking about the growth of the company and how we can make things better. Michael has done quite a bit of traveling over the years that he's been with Renatus to help different teams grow across the country. So we get to learn from an amazing individual who has also earned multiple $1 million in this industry as a young 32-year-old. So make sure to take notes. I'm excited for what Michael has to share with us this morning. Good morning, Michael. How are you today?
Good morning, everybody. Doing great, Keely. Thanks for setting us up and everyone getting the exercise going. This was a good one. I immediately thought of a couple ideas about what I could be doing to increase my network. And so what we're going to do so that everyone can benefit from this exercise is have a few people come out and share the results from their work. We're not going to have everyone do it this time, but just a few people. And then we can get the ball rolling in that direction. And remember, the idea behind this is, well, heck, if Woody Woodward put all this stuff together, and these are all significant, important steps to take, why not do them together? So instead of sitting around just watching the video for fun, let's watch the video for progress. So I got, looks like Anthony raised his hand. So we'll have him come out, and then we'll have one other person. All right, Anthony, come out here real quick. How did the exercise affect you in a positive way?
I think it was awesome. So I listed a whole lot of things that I can run through real quick. Hopefully it's not too fast. Get the recording if you haven't got it. But one thing I wanted to point out to you, a lot of people think that like Facebook is one platform. It's not. There are multiple platforms on Facebook. And if you're not cognitive of that, you might only be focusing on like your personal Facebook, but there's you've got a whole lot of different forums within platforms within Facebook. So when I put Facebook, make sure that you go through all of them. So as an example, you've got Messenger, you've got the clips that you can do. There's a whole lot of groups. So make sure that you're utilizing all those platforms. But I wanted to run through a couple here quickly. First of all, for me, networking is one of my biggest assets. If you don't know how to leverage it and monetize it, you might as well not have it. You might as well just have a telephone directory. So it's important to be utilizing that asset. And you also got to realize that not everybody's core to you. You need to know what service and product you're offering and which target market does this add pleasure or remove pain from, and thereby create your perfect avatar as to who you want to network with for that solution. So social media is the obvious ones: Facebook, Twitter, Discord, WeChat, IG, which Instagram, LinkedIn, Snapchat, Telegram, QQ, Qzone, WhatsApp, Clubhouse, Messenger, Tumblr, Reddit, Viber, Pinterest, Medium, TikTok, YouTube. What about events? You've got meetups, Facebook events, local newspaper events. You've got BNIs, local enterprises. You've got Toastmasters. How about sports clubs? You've got golf courses, private clubs, charity events. Great place. Hotels and events. I tell you what, Grant Cardone says when his sales guys didn't know where to find a lead, he'd send them off to the local hotel. There's always people there. They've always got money and they're hanging around. Good place to go and find people. Trade shows, family and friends. So a strange one to you might be but funerals and weddings, always a good place to catch up with family and friends. People you know, like, and trust already, might not know what you're doing. Good place to network and leverage that. And then while flying. So that was a couple that I had.
Just a couple. Okay, awesome. And Dina, did you want to come out here and share what you put down?
Hello. Okay.
Hey.
Well, we had Super Saturday this last Saturday. And so my first thing was, and I've already started doing it, was to review the notes and then start following directions or instructions on how to get the social media sites up and working. And that includes doing the, I don't know how to say it, setting up the blurb and then putting it out there and then making sure that I respond back to people who might have things to say about it. So that I've always, put stuff out there and then I don't do anything further with it usually. I need to do something better. And no more procrastination starting today. I'm starting working on it today. And I already started before we even got going here. And then following up. The reason I have to follow up is that's what's going to help put food on my table and put a roof over my head. I've got those two things right now, but in about a month, I will not have. So I've got to fix that. And it's imperative that I get that taken care of because there are other people relying on me and I can't help them if I don't help me first. So the goal is to help other people find financial solutions using Renatus. And that's how I'm going to be tackling that. Putting info out there on social media. I'm going to do it at least daily. I would like to be doing it. I plan to be doing it twice daily so that I can hopefully speed up the process of getting things going. Then I took notes from Anthony. And then have my mentors help me once I do have people coming in and responding in a positive way, have my mentors help me with the closing of them because that is an area where I need definitely a lot of training because I haven't done that part very well myself. So, and then rinse and repeat.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you for coming out, sharing, and we're on the topic of networking, folks. So remember that the more, it's not necessarily who knows you, but how they know you. Good morning. About how they know you. If they continually know you as the Jiffy Lube guy, they're not going to call you for real estate stuff. They're going to call you when their car makes a noise. So how do these people know you? Do they still know you as the mortgage broker instead of the property flipper? Do they still know you as the whatever you were doing? Do they need to know you as the new person? So that's part of your networking. Right? Some of you don't have a past career. So what do they know you as? All right, we got one more person to share on this idea, and then we'll get into some more practical, tactical. What's up, Sherry? Come on out.
Good morning, everybody. That's really good what you said, Michael, because I was thinking of to grow my network, one thing I could do is become an expert at something, right? And be known for that one thing. So I'm a teacher and I like using technology in my classroom. And so I can make myself an expert on that topic. But then using that, I could connect them to real estate, right? And in real estate, I'm known as an expert in money lending, you know, and as a parent or a grandparent, I'm known as an expert in whatever. So I can use all of those things to draw back to, or to connect to each other or, to something else. So that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, got to make that network. Not just one stream, not just one line, but this whole spread out network. That's the key here. Because your properties, your opportunities are going to come to you in such bizarre ways. The law of compensation, if anyone has read the essay on the law of compensation by Ralph Waldo Emerson, it's like 60 or so pages, but it's weird, old, funny English. So it takes a minute to read it. Anyway, he talks about your compensation rarely comes from the exact place where you put in the work, unless it's a job. Obviously, the job, you can measure the compensation every 2 weeks, here it comes. But in the business endeavor, in the charity endeavors, in the other entrepreneurial things out in life, very rarely does your compensation come directly from that exact action. It comes from some weird roundabout way. Right? I remember John O'Neill's like second or third fix and flip came because he went early to a meeting. He went so early that he was all set up and the only one wandering the hallway. And someone else came to the building for a different reason. She was looking for something else, asked him for help. Well, he says, well, I don't know about that topic. I'm a real estate investor. And then she goes, oh, well, actually, I need to sell my house too. Right. So he was over there early, helped setting up for marketing and ended up getting a real estate deal that made him like 50 something $1,000 6 months later. So if he was having that attitude of where's my marketing money? Where's my marketing money? I showed up for marketing. Where's my marketing money? He would miss it all. So we have to be open to all kinds of compensation in every area, every direction that it comes from. And it might just be a person that knows a person that knows a person that gets you something. But if you are only looking one dimensional and you stop going through those people, then you miss it again. So what I'm going to be doing today, it's funny that this was the topic. I think the universe is going to start speaking to us through these videos in a much more intentional way if we really listen for it. So I was telling Vanessa this morning before the video started, I'm going to call new people I haven't talked to yet and just make sure they know what I'm up to. Doesn't that sound like today's assignment? So I was thinking about some people on LinkedIn that came up that literally only know me from the old mechanical world, technician world. So I'm going to reach out and let them know about real estate. And I also just heard about Pete Smalley's deal. And so I was going to call a few people and tell them, hey, one of my friends just bought a house for $13,000, put some upgrades into it. Now they're selling it for $130,000. Would you like to hear how he did it? And then invite him to come take a look at our workshops. We have our 10-day challenge starting in 1 week. So I'm really excited about that too. And that also comes down to this networking assignment. Who else could I call? Who else could I let know? Hey, we got this challenge, There are some people who I was thinking about that like this would be so easy for them to say yes to. but then they may or may not have the money at the end of the deal to buy from me, which is what I need. They need to buy, I need them to buy. Then I started thinking, there's these other people. I don't know if they'll say yes. They have the money. For sure, they have the money. And if they like it, they'll buy. But will they say yes? And so I was finding my brain saying, ooh, just call the easy people, the ones that are going to say yes no matter what. Just call them. But what's the challenge with them? They don't have any money. So even if they want to buy the thing, they'll have to do essentials with billing or something. Not saying that's bad, but that's not my target market. My target market is not people who have to pay with essentials on billing, at least essentials cash. But really, we want those cash combos. So now I'm thinking, all right, should I spend more time talking to 3 people who are a little more intimidating, but yes, have the money, or call 10 people who I can get to say yes real quick and then feel proud about myself for getting a bunch of yeses? You guys ever find yourself in situations like that? Where there's a long list of easy calls and a short list of hard calls. And our brains just go, you know what? Let me get some, I know, here's my strategy. I'm going to get some momentum. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get momentum on my small list. That way I can go hit my big list. It sounds great at first, but then what happens is you run out of time. Well, I had all this momentum, but then I ran out of time and my calendar said I had to get on to the next thing or the next call or the next whatever. Momentum is it's an attractive, fickle thing that slips through your fingers or pretends like you're productive when you're really not. It sounds so good. Now look how productive I'm being. So everyone's read the book, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Yes. Okay, so those of you who read it, please type in one of the habits without Googling it. Type in one of the habits.
Who's the author, Michael?
The author is Stephen R. Covey. Covey. Covey.
Sharpen the saw.
Okay. So I heard one. Dan says, sharpen the saw. There we go. Chris Ditson dropped it in the chat. What's up, Chris? Make sure your ladder is leaning on the correct wall, aka begin with the end in mind. Excellent. Okay, sharpen the saw, begin with the end in mind. What else? Here's one. First things first. Remember I'm talking about that? First things first. There we go. He just typed it in. Okay. So this one, first things first, is what makes me think about today's assignment. In the they do this demonstration, they do this exercise, and they have this big clear cylinder, glass jar kind of thing, and they have a big pile of big rocks. They got a pile of medium-sized rocks, and then they got a pile of sand. And the traditional thinking is, all right, if I'm going to put all these things in this jar, I'll start with the sand. Fill up the sand. So the sand fills up the jar, and then you put in your little rocks, and then you go to put in your big rocks, but now you don't have enough room. And we think, well, what the hell? Sand, I mean, that's like the easy one. But if you put the big rocks in first and you stack those big rocks on, and then the little rocks on top of that, then when you pour the sand in, the sand goes through all the space, and now you can get everything in the container. The ability to get everything in the container is directly related to the order in which the things go in. So the principle is first things first. So the first things are not always the easy things. There are 2 things I could do today that if I got them done, I could turn my phone off the rest of the day and be uber productive. Call my productivity, ding, ring the bell, I was productive, done. Those are 2 intimidating things that also has some time that I need to set up. So it's first things first, and I need to sharpen the saw. I might need to do another hour or 2 of prep to be ready for each of these calls. If I bang those 2 things out, the other list that I have has got like literally 200 things and growing. I don't have to look at that if I do these 2 other things. So that's the principle here. All of us are looking at all those easy things to do. We pour the sand in, and then by the time the day is over, we don't have enough room to fit it all in. And the sad thing is, it was the most important things that got neglected. So, eat that frog is another way of saying it. Yeah, eat that frog. Imagine if you had to eat a frog as the first thing on the list. Has anyone here eaten a frog? I was in France. I ate some frog legs. You just have to. If you're gonna go to these places, you eat some stupid snails. You eat some stupid frog legs. Anyway, imagine if that frog was alive. If the frog was alive, so you have your current to-do list that you have right now. Like a whole list of activities and chores and steps and people to call and stuff and things, items you got to bang off your list. And then on a different list is eat an alive frog. But that every day there's that list. No, it's alive, Sandra. All the garlic butter in the world. Okay, but so the idea is if you eat the live frog very first thing in the day, will it be easy to do push-ups? What's easier, push-ups or eating a live frog? What's easier, doing your laundry or eating a live frog? What's easier, making a stupid post, finishing your website, sending those emails, making those calls? Would you rather do that or eat a live frog? So what the principle is behind here is you think about your biggest task, most of the thing that has the most leverage. Some other people call it the domino effect. Whatever that is, eat that frog first, and everything else in the day is way easier. So if we take a step back, the principle behind this is what we're calling hard is not really hard. What we are calling as difficult or intimidating is not really difficult or intimidating especially when it's compared to something as simple as eating a live frog. Oh my God, I got to call 16 people today. I have to send 3 emails. I got to write a testimonial. I got to be on 4 more hours of Zooms. I got to make a documentary. I got to feed the things and take out the other stuff and things. There's so much to do. Thank God, eat a live frog is not on my list. Okay. So now we got a few minutes. I just want to make sure that we leave a little bit of time so that everyone can do a thing on their list. There's a few people I need to call. There's an email I need to make that I didn't do all weekend. I could have done it all weekend, anytime this weekend, didn't do it. Now I have to do it this morning. So I'm going to go work on that. All of you have something else to work on. And part of it is your networking. This is not called net sitting. It's called networking. You have to work it. So I'm going to wrap this up. I see that you guys are now busy working. You got your lists out in front of you. I'm going to let you get to work on that. Cool. Cool. Okay. And thank you, Keely, for setting it up. I'm really liking these videos where we start out with the exercise and the question in the morning. Is everyone liking this process of actually thinking and doing the work? Awesome. Okay. Well, appreciate all the feedback, everyone. And with that, let's wrap it up. And we'll see you guys later today on the Founders Webinar. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye now.